Hey, welcome back to the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge, and today we have Marvel's Hero Project. This is a unscripted series. This is you're not going to find Spider-Man or Captain America or Iron Man showing up in this one. This is very much set in our real world, and it involves a number of young heroes that are doing some very real things. They don't have superpowers. They can't. They don't. They're not billionaires. They don't live under the sea. They or in outer space. They are literally just kids like anybody else who either have lived through extraordinary circumstances or just are simply extraordinary on their own, just because of who they are. It's I've watched only 2 episodes of this series so far. It's kind of as much as I could take, and that's not in a bad way. I'll explain. There's a reason why my eyes might seem a little puffy right now. Yes, I'm a little bit emotionally taken by this series. Um, the premise of this is they get a bunch of the Marvel bullpen. That's what they call the area where the general area where the editors and writers and creators, artists, all sort of gather. At least historically, they used to. I don't know if there's much of bullpen anymore that exists in New York, but in a sense, the bullpen is the central area where the creators behind Marvel congregate. And the editors in this one are made to do a little bit of acting. They It's unscripted, but of course they get to express how they feel about a number of different kids that have been brought to their attention. These guys are not great actors, but they're great editors. But they get to talk about a number of kids that they don't turn into heroes, that they see making changes and making good trouble in their communities. The first two, I'll tell you about the first one, is Jordan, and I kind of forget where she is from. I think it's Minneapolis. I'm not sure. Sorry, Jordan. But she is a girl who was born without a left hand, and at least not a fully formed arm. And she's always known she's different. She's always known that she's just not like every other kid, and but that's never slowed her down or never made her feel sorry for herself. She's shown an inventive spirit, and she has been creative and imaginative early on. And I'm not going to tell you her story for them. You should watch the episode. But we get to see her as an inventor, and not just someone who has done things to benefit herself and make her overcome what many people see as a disability. We get to see her inspiring other kids that have gone through and are going through the same thing, some much younger than her. Jordan is 13 at the time that they filmed this. This is from 2019. So 2019, of course, it's in a Disney Plus original, so this was probably shot, yes, over 2018, 2019. But yeah, Jordan is a young inventor, and she's created something. She's a cheerleader. She does all sorts of things in school. Nothing. It's just like, oh well, I'm missing a hand, so I guess I can't do that. No, that's never stopped her, and it's beautiful to see her gathering with even smaller kids. Who are missing hands, missing arms, just from an accident of birth. It's not something that a trauma that was presented upon them, as far as I know. At least the kids that we see and hear, they gather together, and she's a source of inspiration. In this, she's been doing this kind of thing for a while before she ever came to the attention of Marvel. But she's been on Rachel Ray, and she's done a TED Talk. She's done a number of things probably before she was, before she was even double digits, she was basically inspiring people. She made a prosthetic, 3D printed with a mentor of hers that helped her put it together and helped design it, that shoots glitter. So what's more heroic than that? It makes people happy. Also makes it difficult to ever feel completely clean. But she she's gotten all sorts of accolades and all sorts of support, and this hero project is meant to and this, and with all of the other 19 other kids in this, there's 20 episodes in this first season, with 19 other kids, basically tell them, just award them, sort of tell them that they're part of an elite group of kids that are inspiring and that do some amazing things. They get a jacket. They get to open up a box. Usually, it's a surprise. They open a box. At least in the 2 episodes I see, the moms get to read the welcome letter from Marvel to them in a surprise moment. And they open the box. They get a really nice jacket with a special Hero Project logo on it, and a fold-out comic sort of poster kind of thing that tells a short story that involves them, drawn by some of the top creators and artists at Marvel. So Stuart Immonen, I think, provides a lot of the title sequence artwork. I think I saw Todd Knock. There's a number of other artists. If you know Marvel comics like I do, you'll recognize a lot of familiar artwork. But yeah, beyond Jordan, who is incredibly inspiring, just to see her change lives, inspire kids, and show them that being different is not something that is a bad thing, or that you're not wrong for being physically different. It means that you can possibly do things that most other people can't. Most people aren't going to have an attachment that they created that shoots glitter out of their arms. Many times they would have never thought to do that, and it's their loss. The second one is a young kid from North Carolina. His name's Elijah, and he lost his dad early on when he was very, very little. I can't remember how old he was, but even from the time when he was 5 years old, he had the gift of oration. He could speak, and this kid, while it's not a high bar to get over, he can speak a whole lot better than me. He's eloquent. He's intelligent. He is inspiring. He's passionate. Elijah is just freaking amazing. He could have, I think his mom said, or either one of his mentors said that, he could have just said, "Hey, I lost my dad he lost his dad when he was 3. His dad died of a heart attack." He could have just said, "Hey, you know what? Life has done me wrong, and I had lost my dad when I was a kid, and I've had a hard life, and this is the way it's going to be, and I'm just going to be bitter and hard." But this kid, when presented with, beyond just, wanting to preach since he was 5, he's a very spiritual kid. You see him preach a number of times, throughout his episode. When he was approached by a young girl who had been hit by her father, he took it upon himself to speak out about child abuse, and that, it's like, some people would just go, "Oh, I'm sorry. What can we do for you? Maybe I can help you get out of this situation." He goes beyond that. He not only listened to that girl, he inspired her to be able to get help, and also he started his own rally, his own march against child abuse in his hometown when he was 11, and he's done a number of speaking engagements. Obviously, when you hear him speak, one of his role models is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. the the speaking skills are unmistakable, and when he gets an opportunity to speak in Washington D.C., which he thinks he's going to be speaking in a school, he ends up speaking on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, much like Martin Luther King Jr. did. And sure, the crowd wasn't exactly the same. It was a big surprise, and him being a Marvel fan, also getting a little bonus of the box with the coat and everything else, just had him in tears. It's great to see these kids, something come back to them, in even just, hey, here's a comic book and a jacket in a really cool box. That's nothing compared to what these kids are giving the world. If this kid somehow doesn't become a world leader at some point in the future, I'll be very surprised. It's him to decide, obviously, where he goes, what he does with his skills and his talent. But I think the world would be a much worse place without Elijah in it. And Jordan, and so many of the other kids that are in this. I'm going to give you a little sneak preview of some. I didn't watch them, so I don't know how they go. All I know is, if I kept watching, I would just never stop crying, I think. We had Jordan, we had Elijah, and here's Adonis. He speaks out for the visually impaired, especially those who are playing sports like football. Haley, by the way, there's a lot of alliteration in these titles in the Stan Lee tradition, who just loved to alliterate whenever he called out his own name or those he works with. Haley works in nurture relationships with family members who have Alzheimer's. Mighty Rebecca, not alliterative, but Rebecca is on a mission to shield LGBTQ youth from hate, making the world a safer place for everyone. These again, every single one of these are kids doing these things. Kids. Yeah, adults are doing great things too. But to be able to see these kids aren't just sitting around playing video games or reading comic books. They are doing some amazing things, or making videos on YouTube. There's so many that are doing some astounding things, and this Marvel Heroes Project series is here to highlight it. If you want to feel good about the future of this world, about America, I think this is the episode. This is the series for you. I want to add it to my thing, to my list, but I have to be honest. I think these kids. I don't know if I could watch it, the rest of it. Not because it's bad. It's great. It's amazing, but it's really difficult. I'm going to add it. But I'm only going to be doing one at a time from here on out, and I'm not going to tell you how it went, because then I'll just be puffy on camera for no reason. So, yeah, Marvel Hero Project. You can find it under the Marvel tab on the menu under the series. Just search Hero Project. And by the way, you can also, to see the comics, to read the comics that each of these kids received, you can go to marvel.com/Hero Project, and they have them all there, all 20. So take your time to do that. All right, let's take a shot at seeing what we have tomorrow.
406.
406. Not too far down the line. 406. Hey, we just had a movie from this series not too long ago, and I have to be honest, I have not. I think I've watched an episode here or there. It was, if it just randomly came on. I haven't had traditional TV in a long time, or even basic cable, so it's kind of hard to accidentally flip through the channels and find a show. I pretty much stream everything. But here we go. We're going to watch a few episodes, maybe 2 or 3, of Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb. I know I already love the series, so I'm ruining you don't have to bother watching tomorrow's episode because I'm now just telling you that it's awesome. And I love the guys behind it who write it, and just the great pop culture references and their timing when it comes to comedy. But I'll tell you all that again tomorrow in a much lengthier video on the Disney Plus Everyday Challenge. I'll see you back here tomorrow.